What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 35 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Vlad got himself a very nice fight against Festus where the Death Stars faced off against each other, and Vlad's proved, well, let's say quite superior, in that we took barely any damage compared to Festus, who was destroyed. I do think this is going to be very bad for the faction in general, as in Festus's faction, because now he doesn't have that elite army anymore to be dealing with the other territories of the Empire. I mean, just taking a look at his other armies, well, they've got some lower entity units here, a couple Beasts of Nurgle, but this one is absolutely trash. If it's of the same variety, that probably won't stand up to too much Imperial spam. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works out for them. Now, there's probably still a few things to do this turn, so let's check that out. Bathilda is still in siege of Karaz-a-Karak. Rudy still needs to move to Refra. Oh, wait, no, that's actually next turn. Rod is in ambush, and he will try to go after all this stuff, as I do assume that Renke Helstein is going to get attacked at Fort Stroghoff here by a pile of enemies. Though I suppose they could hold off. We'll see. If they siege, it'll really work towards our, and it'll work in our favor. Also, Aldous, you can just stay where you are, it doesn't really matter. You can't reach Castle Alexandrinov, and even if you could, you need Vlad to do the damage for you, so yeah, that's all irrelevant. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll be beginning this particular episode by attacking Karaz-a-Karak. Now, the question is... Oh, right, I remember. The Crypt Horrors. Okay, fine. We're gonna fight this regular style because it looks extremely easy, considering the types of units that are in here. And there ain't much of them either. Really, this should have been very much auto-resolvable, but not a big deal. We'll just try to speed through it and try to look for better battles. I'm really excited at the prospect of a siege at Fort Stroghoff by the giant pile of Norskins. Hope we can make that happen, because it's not like we have any of our elites to rely on there, and those are always very fun. Alrighty, so start deployment. Obviously, you are going to move in first, Bathilda, and then you guys are just gonna line up like so, together. Doesn't really matter who goes first and who goes second. I suppose our one unit of ghouls can go back there, though we will be replacing it shortly. You guys, and you guys... And you guys are all gonna be grouped, let's say, 2, together with you, but not the Necromancer. The Necromancer's slow and should probably travel with the infantry. Alright, like so, like so. Mostly we just want to avoid the towers damaging our poor units. Alright, you guys, oh, and the Corpse Cart, damn. You guys and the Corpse Cart and the Skellies can be group 3, and the Knights you can be back here. I don't know if they'll get attacked or not, but you know what, maybe we just move them here with everybody as well. Like so. And I believe that's good, minus that fact that I want the Death Star to move out ahead. Start battle now. You guys move up here. Bathilda fly in and kill everybody. And group 3, march here. Knights, you might as well push forward. It looks like the towers aren't active. Alrighty, let's just speed up to max and move in. Oh, can we summon... Oh, we can summon outside the walls. Bathilda, you want to breathe on some units? Are these Dwarf Warriors? No, I want to breathe on Longbeards. There we go. Ooh, that's a bad target. Let's do that. Oh, very nice. And that was quite damaging, wasn't it? Bathilda, you're probably going to take a little bit of damage this way. Group 2. Attack that gate, please. And, ooh, there's a unit of Thunderers out there. Go kill that. I don't think any of them are a threat to you. And the gate should go down shortly. And we'll be able to summon units as well. I'm kind of tempted to get some Wind of Death out. I mean, it's not going to do too much damage, but might as well. While we wait. Hopefully it bounces back or keeps going this way, which it did. Looks like it damaged those Longbeards, I take it. Yeah, not bad. Alrighty, Bathilda, keep fighting. You want to use your Spirit Leech on this unit because it's the main unit. It's not going to do too much damage, but that's fine because the gate will break through shortly. Gotta get a little bit of XP on our black coaches. And just speed it up to max until the gate is nearly destroyed. Come on, everybody, keep attacking it. And you know what, Necromancer, you can join them as well. Oh, you're actually on your steed still. You're not on your corpse cart. Alright, so you were actually... Okay. Guys, come on. Oh, it's so irritating. Okay, go. Now you're past all the skeletons. Damn, it was difficult to move. If anything, vampiric units should have the ability to just force their way through the battle lines, because everything would just move out of their way at their whims, rather than actually having to fight. Alrighty, as in fight their way through. Go after those Longbeards. In fact, I don't think Bathilda needs help. She can kill the rest of this. Do we want to use any spells? I guess we could use Seduction, not that we need it. Let's do that. Everybody else take care of up here. And you know what? Maybe we can send a few units to deal with some things here, like so. Anything else back here? Oh, did I keep the corpse guard back here? It is fairly slow. Alrighty, and Grave Guard in here, although I doubt you'll be needed. Actually, one of you guys, Mortis Engines, move up here. Up to the front. Just trying to get through this as fast as we possibly can, so we don't waste time with this extremely easy battle that should have been auto-resolvable if it wasn't for that one unit of Crypt Cores. I mean, I suppose later on we won't need the Crypt Cores in this. Nah, I still like what they offer, considering we have a relatively minimal amount of infantry.
We are immortal.
Alright, Bathilda. Alright, how are we doing? Is that most of the rest of the units? I'm actually kind of tempted to drop some magic on this, just to speed it up a little bit. Can Penumbral Pendulum bounce back? I don't know. I want to see. Yes, it can bounce back. Very nice. That probably did a ton of damage. Actually, doesn't look as much as I thought it would. Well, let's bounce some Wind of Death around then in the same location. Oh, hopefully I didn't do that too close and force it to bounce off immediately. No, we're good. There we go. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Lovely. Alrighty, and those units are basically done for. Wind of Death does it again. Bathilda, you can use your healing potion, not that you need it, mostly to just heal up to full. And oh, there's still a few units out there. Alright, you guys go for that. Bathilda, you stay here, I guess, and then we'll send some Grave Guard to deal with those Longbeards. Crypt Cores, you can help them out. Bathilda, lift off. Hopefully you guys can all catch somebody. Yeah, we need to catch those Quarlers and force them to rout, essentially. And that'll be the end. Alright, you know what? Let's get a couple of you. Wait, Black Coach here. Move this way. And is there another one? Yeah, move this way. All of you move this way. No, through this side. How did they try? Oh, there's a freaking barrier here. Okay, attack the barrier. I don't know if that'll be fast enough, but we'll give it a try. Oh wow, a third Quarler? I didn't even realize that the enemy decided to keep all of its Quarlers back here. That's kind of dumb. I don't know why it would do that. They could have been adding ranged firepower to what they were doing before, but apparently they'd rather just waste all their ranged units. How's that barrier looking? Are Black Coaches good at destroying barriers? Well, not great. Let's go with not great. Alright, you land here and use one of the Spirit Leeches on this guy where those Longbeards looking. Should be done for shortly. Oh, the Black Coaches are being distracted by stuff. Send a Mortis Engine to help them out. And over here, the enemy Lord is dead, Bathilda. You debuff the enemy and let's say summon another unit of zombies on top of these guys, and let's speed it back up. I don't think anybody's liable to get damaged here. Oh, these guys are actually firing at us. Oh, and now they break, of course. Alright, Bathilda, heal yourself briefly. Oh, damn it, I just healed the wrong unit. That's what happens when you speed up. Alright, now you're good. Ah, why did I hit the black parry up? Damn you, muscle memory. Alright, good enough. Probably didn't even need to heal there either, because it'll be our territory anyway. 102 kills on those Longbeards. Well, they should be proud of themselves for managing to kill some zombies. Ooh, beating the most kill units on our side by 1. And 1100 damage as well, but against zombies again. But this is 101 dwarfs the Mortis Engine killed, whereas this is 102 zombies. That's a pretty big difference. And since the enemy wasn't using any of its Quarlers to any kind of effect, really, it would have been Longbeards and potentially Dwarf Warriors that the Mortis Engine killed. So I'd like to give that one to the Mortis Engine. Anyway, occupy Karaz-a-Karak. And there's the corpse card. Ooh, and we got an Armor of Destiny. Very nice pickup. Yes. That actually reminds me, what is Vlad using right now? He is using a... oh, right, he's using the Helm of Discord. The question is, does he need the Armor of Destiny? Does he need any kind of armor? Between the Blood Drinker and the Carstein Ring, he's pretty damn good. We could put the Helm of Discord on somebody else. One of the Vamps, perhaps, or the Necro. Nah, the Necro should probably have something that keeps him a little bit tankier. Actually, I like the Glittering Scales on him as well. You know what? Let's not put that on anybody yet. I'll think about it. And then we'll deal with it when, well, when we need to. Alrighty, and I believe that's it. Let's move our agents around now, since we probably can't afford the buildings. And actually, our agents have moved as well. Alrighty, well, now I have to wonder if there's any gibbets to be done anywhere. I know that you need to be upgraded for money, but you don't give us enough money for us to be concerned with. We're looking good up here. Erengrad, how are you doing, by the way? You're still okay. And Kislev, weren't you ready for an upgrade? You are. You are ready for an upgrade. And that should be done ASAP. Well, maybe not ASAP, but, you know. It'll help it defend itself at the very least. These places, well, I guess we could start building the Lich Yards and stuff, but I feel like there should probably be better investments for the cash. We could also save the cash and put it somewhere else. Now, these places will all need gibbets, and we'll need money for them, although, to be fair, gibbets aren't that expensive either. Alright, you know what? I think we'll save the money and we'll end the turn, especially considering we summoned this big army over here, and it's eating up a lot of our money, plus it's using that supply lines thing. So let's end the turn with the hopes that these guys get themselves a fight. I just want to double check outpost upgrade available. Oh, that's in Griffinwood. That doesn't really matter because Draca doesn't really give very good, stuff, but you... Northern provinces. Let's go for the second tier outpost. And I don't remember where we have the outposts here. It's either in Hanyu or in Shangyang. Yeah, no, we're here, and it is level 2. So we're fine. I'd really still like to build those Fire Rain rockets or Sky Junks, but we need our allies to actually have them available. Oh, and you started with the Gibbet. Ah, but you lost your frickin' gem mine. Of course you did. Alrighty, well, we don't need either of these unless we... Nope, I was about to say unless we want to summon a White King. I feel like in one of our new armies we should put a couple White Kings, just because we can. Maybe in the Blood Dragon army to lead a couple of them. To lead the Grave Guard. Not because we need to at all. Just for variety's sake, if nothing else. Yeah, alrighty. Commandment available, I forgot about you. Let's go repress some more. Nope, foster terror. And that should be good. And then there are 1, 2, 3 territories remaining to the Karaz-a-Karak dwarfs, 4 if we count Karak-a-Zoul, although they may fall to the Skaven, though, to be perfectly honest, that Queek army is pathetic, so may not happen. Alrighty, let's see if Throgg decides to brave the attack there. Come on, Throgg, do it. Don't you disappoint me. We also wasted a lot of money summoning that army, so... alrighty, you want a peace treaty? Of course you do, but that ain't gonna happen. And where are you, Throggy? Come on. Puppets, Shadow Legion, should be getting near there. And I see ya. Yes, yes, amazing. Okay, what do we have here? Throgg himself. Oh, he's come back up. Oh, well, that should make it very interesting. He's gonna be extremely difficult to kill. Especially while we don't have Vlad. They only got 2... Wait, did they attack with 2 armies instead of 3? Maybe the 3rd army couldn't actually reach the place. And interestingly enough, the Skaven are out of reach. Well, this sounds like it'll still be a very fun battle. We still have quite a lot of stuff to contend with, though we do have a few ringers, and we'll still probably have to work for it. I wasn't expecting to fight Throgg here, and his Marauder champions are quite beefy as well now, eh? Alright, should be a fun time. Let's get to it, cinematically, of course. Very well, yes, the vampires never want to give a proper speech. Alrighty, well, let's hope that this goes very well, because obviously we're in a fairly dangerous position here. The enemy has a full stack and then a more elite stack coming in after that with a couple skin wolves, the regiment of renowned beasts of Tashanar, I think the Norscan warhounds are, plus the 2 units of mammoths there. Of course, Throgg is here with a decent number of ranged units, as well as all of those very strong Marauder champions. Unfortunately, we don't have any red line buffs for our poor skeletons, so they're all quite weak, them and the zombies, and even the Graveguard with their base stats. Would be really nice to have gotten the just like a couple levels on the Lord upon summoning, but oh well, what can you do? Now, as for this map, I do like this map. It's a fairly decent one to defend. It has a lot of nice choke points, and you have the choice of whether you want to defend more outside here and here, like we've done, or whether you want to just back everybody up and defend here at the end, though this, of course, limits you essentially to 1 high-level tower, or possibly 2 if nobody captures this point. It's still a very good location, and we've defended here in the past many a time. The reason I decided not to was it looked like that the enemy was deploying in primarily 2 locations rather than 3. If it had deployed in 3, I would have had everybody go back here. But right now, I think we have enough units to essentially block most of the enemy off and, you know, continue annoying them with the black coach out here. Throgg has appeared on this side, and I actually didn't know where Throgg was. It seems that he either has stock, or, oh, he actually can hide in a forest. That's actually surprising. Considering chariots can't hide in forests, you're telling me Throgg can hide? Yes, I'm sure. This guy's bigger than 2 chariots welded together, but sure, he can hide and chariots can't. I guess chariots are much longer, and it's hard to get a chariot through a forest, to be fair. Yeah, so I had no idea where he was, which is why the Lord is out here, and several units are sort of in the center of the map. And they're just waiting to react to Throgg, essentially, because we have to rely on the Master of the Black Arts, i.e. the Bound Spirit Leech, on our Vampire Lord to dish out damage. Anyway, time to get the battle going. It looks like the enemy is going to start by chucking a lot of javelins at us from their piles of Marauder horsemen on this side. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a focus on our corpse cart there, and they do have additional Marauder javelins, hunters specifically here, which are quite good with their anti-large, though they aren't using it on anti-large here. Obviously, it's just a matter of holding the chokes for as long as possible, though we have no elites on this side, so it's simply going to try to delay the enemy, just to try to delay the enemy. While here, we have a unit of Graveguard to hold the line, so when the enemy gets tired, that should be good. Plus, we are going to get a tower up. This is the 1400-point towers, as I found that with the vampires, I personally like to build multiple 14-point towers in various locations, if it's possible, rather than a single 2,000-point tower, as I do find it fairly effective. And as opposed to waiting for, you know, getting a 2,000-point tower up and then getting a second one up. Anyway, Throgg is in the battle, and we use our single unit of Blood Knights to attack him, plus our Lord is moving in. He's already used his first Spirit Leech on the big boy. And yeah, finally somebody who's actually bigger than the Strigoi are. Good job, Throgg. Now, that Spirit Leech looks like it did fairly decent damage, about 15%, so 3 more of those, plus the Blood Knights and our Lord hitting him, and I do gotta point out that even on level 1, and the Strigoi hit really hard, 75 to 63 attack and defense. Very nice. So together they should be able to bring Throgg down, though he is getting quite a few kills already with his splash damage. We've also dropped our bats down on the enemy Marauder horses of various types, because they were starting to do damage to our corpse cart, and I was worried about that, in the hopes of distracting them and allowing the Vargeist to kill them. Though without buffs, it does seem that this is not super effective, and I perhaps should have sent these guys to chase after fleeing units, though of course that would have made the that would have made the problem for these guys just being able to continuously use those ranged attacks. And we try to get the Vargeists out so that they stop taking as much damage, but unfortunately they do get re-engaged. Flying units do have that tendency. Over on this side, let's see what's happening. The tower is starting to fire into this blob, though clearly that shot was not particularly effective. Although the blob should hold quite a while, and we shouldn't have too much problems, at least until the secondary army arrives, especially as our Morngulls, who have been waiting in the background in stock, are now moving in to attack the enemy. There are Marauder champions as well as Berserkers here, as well as a regular unit of Marauders, so it is quite a lot of units, and we do still have to be careful about these units dying, but together with the Graveguard I don't see too much trouble once again until reinforcements are here. We're also just going to send the Black Coach to help him out, which is, you know, it's doing okay. It's only done 18 kills, but the 5.6k damage at this point is pretty decent. One of the reasons that I decided to deploy here and here rather than all the way at the center, where the enemy would block each other a lot more, was because I wanted a little bit of room to maneuver in terms of our Blood Knights as well as various other units. And I feel like that would be valuable in some situations where we want to maybe chase enemies off. Though perhaps if we had deployed over at the center, we could have simply used the aerial units to chase the enemies off. It looks like one of the enemy, or perhaps two of the enemy horseman units have routed, but it is essentially costing us the Vargeist unit, who are now in crumbling. Both of the enemy unit of Javelin Hunters switched to the Vargeists, unfortunately, and decided to bring them down. There was an invocation of Neheg going on them, but unfortunately it was not enough between the crumble as well as the focus fire from the Javelins. On the bright side, though, Renki here is doing a pretty good job at fighting Throgg with that second Spirit Leech having come down. Throggies now at about 30% HP, and the Blood Knights had to move away because they were taking a little bit of damage here, and they're our main elite units, so I do want to preserve them as much as possible. And then they're going to go back in after Throgg is a little bit distracted. Plus, Throgg has that animation which essentially forces him through the battle line, which is great, because this is now him surrounded by our troops rather than forcing us to get surrounded by theirs. You gotta love that Frost Breath, though. Alright, and here comes the third Spirit Leech on Throgg, and just like that, he's down to 700 HP, and we're going to give chase. Of course, he's not shattered, and he does have Troll regeneration, but the Blood Knights are much faster than him, so they should be able to bring him down without too much trouble. Alrighty. So that at least is accomplished. That said, there are still a lot of enemy troops to work through, and they've been doing an okay job working through our own troops. Over on this side, they've destroyed the first unit of Skeleton Spears, although this unit didn't start off at full HP, and there is another unit here, and a third unit that's coming in as a reinforcement that I had... Okay, it's somewhere here. Or was that the reinforcing unit? I don't remember. Perhaps that was the reinforcing unit. There's a zombie unit here and a skeleton unit that I deployed over on this side just in case. And I guess that's it. But anyway, Throgg goes down. Let's keep holding. Oh, and it looks like the Morngulls have finally managed to chase off those units. A little bit of help from that tower and the Black Coach. And now we're going to go back to this choke point to try to hold ground. We're also going to move the Black Coach as well as the Morngulls deeper into the settlements to try to survive. Of course, the Morngulls have taken a little bit of a beating, but our Lord should be able to heal them with the Bound Invocation of Neheg. More importantly, here come the rest of the more elite units, specifically the two Mammoths, the two Skin Wolves, as well as the enemy Lord. This is going to be a lot harder to hold for our basic infantry units, and even for our Graveguard, as there's nothing really here that could stop those Mammoths. We are going to have to try to use the Great Weapon Graveguard as well as the Black Coach to do it, but more importantly, once the Blood Knights are done on the other side, we're gonna have to send the Lord and the Blood Knights to deal with these guys, because, yeah. And this is doing a lot of damage to our Graveguard. I would have normally sent them away, but unfortunately we have to keep holding the ground here, or else the enemy giant pile of units will get through, and we can't have them go past the choke points here. Alrighty, how are we doing over on this side? More units have arrived from the reinforcements, and several of the units have come back as though they weren't shattered, they were merely routing. So we do still have to hold. The Graveguard are still relatively close to full model counts, though they've dropped to half HP. On the bright side, though, on this side, it looks like just a single unit Marauder Hunters with Javelins and regular Marauders remaining, and we should be able to push on through and attack these guys and destroy them and then reinforce relatively shortly. Our Blood Knights are even lining up to get a charge going here in a little bit. Alrighty, good job everybody. The battle will be won or lost here at this pile of units. On the bright side though, the tower is now firing at them, and we've got a third tower that will be coming up shortly right here, which I believe is also in range of this particular location. As soon as we hit enough money. Or defensive supply, whatever it is. On the bright side, the towers do seem to be doing okay and actually hitting the center of the formation. On the not so bright side, we are starting to run out of units to hold the line here. Of course, we also had the limited corpse carts, so that is something to be concerned with here. If these guys die, it ain't gonna be as pretty. And let's see, at least the mammoths dropped down to about half HP. We have been focusing it with the tower, as well as the Black Coach, as well as our Graveguard. Although, of course, they're all starting to get beat up. But our Lord is now finally making his way to us. He's also gotten an Invocation of the Heck going on the Morngulls, who have returned to a little bit more HP and are gonna help the Graveguard try to hold the line here and fight some of those Skin Wolves. Oh, damn it, I need to speed that up. There we go. Yeah, one of the unfortunate things about the Morngulls is that same animation that, well, similar animation to Throgg in the sense that they move really deep into the enemy formation rather than trying to hold the line together with your other units. I do wish that there were additional commands that allowed monstrous infantry to essentially, you know, join a unit of infantry and try to hold together rather than move too far forward and get isolated and killed, because it's a big problem with monstrous infantry in particular. Well, it looks like fortunately one of the mammoths is routed. We saw the Spirit Leech going down on it in the background. We should be able to destroy it. Black Coach is going to give chase because it, you know, has speed, though it doesn't appear to be using all of it to actually charge the mammoth, but I'm sure it'll die soon. The other mammoth is now going to get attacked and they're going to knock Arenki over a little bit. In fact, both of them are routing now with sufficient focus. Beautiful. The enemy is close to breaking through on this side though, so we do need reinforcements, and the Blood Knights should be here relatively shortly. They have now charged the back of the enemy line here, and the Berserkers and Champions are holding, but I don't imagine it'll be for too long. Alrighty, come on, poke him to death there. And we do have another Graveguard unit hitting the enemy unit in the back here to act as the meat shield. We probably don't even need to completely destroy these guys with the Blood Knights, and we can just reinforce. And there's that third tower that's coming up. It'll be up in 3 seconds, and we'll get additional fire support. Oh, it looks like more enemy range units are trying to support that corpse cart, which I decided to move away from the main battle lines. Enemies were trying to focus it down in melee and not just in range. There we go. Now 2 towers are attacking this particular location. And every second that we continue to hold is more splash damage that comes in. Very nice. Plus the Black Coach is in here now, and our Lord is trying to kill the enemy Lord, and I do believe he's being quite successful at it. He may be a level 1, but compared to a Norscan Lord, it looks like his stats are quite superior. Minus armor. But everything else is better. And the enemy Norscan Lords don't do much armor piercing damage, do they? How much armor piercing damage do you do? Quite a bit more. A little bit disappointed for the Marauder Chieftain there, but well, I mean, it is a regular human, right? The Marauder Chieftain. Nothing all that special about him. They don't have any They don't have any gifts of chaos, or at least no mutations or anything of the like, so it shouldn't be surprising that a vampire of really any type would be able to kill one. And there we go, looks like the Lord is at the very least routing. Black Coach still in here and is now at 135 kills, so all of its good stuff is active. Lovely. Yeah, Black Nimbus is at 120 kills, so even though it's at half HP, it'll be fine, and we can always heal it, though we do have other priorities in terms of healing. On this side, the Graveguard and the Mourngulls are nearly done. They're both in crumbling now. The Graveguard are holding with the very last of their units here against the Beasts of Tashnar, as well as the remnants of the Weirkin that came back after fighting those Mourngulls. Good job to those Graveguard, though, and just like that, the enemy army decides it is no longer viable. It looks like the death of the enemy Lord was sufficient to get them to run away. That was pretty timely, so well done to our Strigoi, and I also want to point out that he's been in the battle for the entire episode, essentially, or the entire battle. He's been mid-fight the entire battle, and he's basically unhurt. So good job to him. You gotta love Vampire Lords, even at level 1. And Tower's gonna get these parting shots in for the enemy, and we're obviously going to give a little bit of a chase with our Black Coach, as we've seen before, and these particular units are very good at chasing enemies down. Oh, did the enemy Lord survive, or is that just Marauder Champion? Oh, those are the Icehorn Marauders, okay. I was wondering why they looked a little bit fancier. Yeah, so not too bad. I think if I were to fight it again, I would have tried holding at just the center and making use of only the single choke point. The problem with this is when I've held this location before in various times, I've learned that you can't really hold right here very effectively. You have to move a little bit further down, which is certainly possible, but it is a little bit risky in the sense that it could still get you to be surrounded here, so then you're holding 2 choke points. But then you're still holding 2 and then not 4. But then if the enemy had gone around here, it would have been much, much worse, because we'd have to hold the bridge here, most likely. Yeah, and the problem with holding just here is that the enemies have a tendency to, once again, push through your formation and start fighting on the key building, which would obviously be terrible. And obviously we wouldn't have been able to hold the Mammoths back. In fact, we couldn't hold the Mammoths back. Even if the Blood Knights had been there, they would have certainly damaged the Mammoths and killed them quite quickly. But the Mammoths would have still broken through our melee line. Anyway, once again, we're going to give chase to as many units as possible to kill them. Obviously, they attacked us, and thus all that survives will come back, and we may have to fight them again, so I'd really rather avoid having to do so. The Roderick is coming near to bail his Strigoi brother out. Finally, some Strigoi solidarity. Anyway, there we are. Pyrrhic victory. Unsurprisingly, a few losses, but let's see the damage and let's see what we have remaining. Are we still viable to continue defending? Will another army attack us? Alrighty, certainly a Pyrrhic victory, and my main regret was losing that Vargeist unit early in the battle, but it did revive either the dead or rise again, which is quite swell. It looks like the Black Coach was definitely the right pick, and so were the Blood Knights, both of whom dealt out massive amounts of damage, and great job to the Graveguard for holding the line, and 150 kills. Extremely respectable as well. I'm a little bit disappointed in how easily Throgg went down, though. It's a little bit surprising. And just remembering back to the last time I did a Throgg campaign, which I was pretty fond of, Throgg always felt pretty much invincible in that campaign, especially with his army of Ice Trolls and Bile Trolls, though I suppose that was an SFO campaign. But still, it's always surprising to see him just get defeated. But anyway, let's see. We will actually have to heal up here, won't we? We don't know whether another army will attack us immediately after, and I don't remember whether these guys, Molder, get to move now or they moved before Throgg did, so let's not risk it. Yeah, also, did you just get 8 levels? Okay. And yeah, that Bound Spirit Leech was also extremely valuable in that particular battle as well, dishing out mass amounts of damage to Throgg, of course, and overpowering his troll regeneration. Caravan ride. Overpowering his troll regeneration. Oh, one of our tech thieves got wounded. What is this? And you got defeated Throgg. That's great for you. And another caravan arrived. Okay, it's all caravan day today. And leader of the pack is researched, but that doesn't really matter as much. It mostly matters because it leads to Beastmaster for that Vargulf and Vargeist reduction. Not that we have a crazy amount of each, but, well, it's liable to increase at least somewhat. Hey, we get Vlad's second Blood Knights available as well. And I think I was going to get... Wait. I wanted another Crypt Horror, but we don't have one. Damn. Ironically, the Mourngul is here, but we don't need a second Mourngul. Well, we do need the Blood Knight to trade. And now we have to figure out who can we reach with Rod. Wait. Has Prague been sacked? No, these guys are still going to try to take it. That's fine. And that's absolutely fine. Rod, can you... Ah, you can't reach Bok. Damn. Well, that's a crying shame, but what we can do... is March stance you over there. I doubt that Thrott's going to break the siege to attack Fort Ostrosk, and even if he does, Zoishank still lives. Plus, we have this. Vlad, go here. In March stance, sure. Then Aldous, you're going to briefly go here. You're going to cap the close victory. How much damage is Vlad's army going to take here? Yeah, wow. Ridiculous. The auto-resolve, absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to capture the place. Okay, and Scroll of Shielding, Dragon Helm, you don't actually need any of these things. Hey, province secured. Oh yeah, because we have a vassal, I guess. Foster Terror for now, though we will be trading this, this shortly. Actually, you can keep the Gravedigger now that I think about it. My bad, buddy, my bad. There you go. Did I just trade your Did I just take your Gravedigger from somebody else? I hope not. Vlad no longer has his, but he doesn't really need it. Now... Vlad, you're in a lot of March stance territory unless you stay in Erengrad to heal. And we could suffer the attrition, but it really depends on whether we want to or not. These guys really should have brought this army along as well. Wait. Or was this one of the armies? Maybe this was one of the armies and he just got the Regiment of Renown in here over the last turn. Oh yeah, the Beasts of Tashanar were in that particular battle, weren't they? Okay, okay. We've seen that army before then. Alrighty, well, Rod, you're gonna start by moving here to Bok-Bok. Bok-Bok's gonna run away, but Runke, you should be able to reach him, I would think. There we go. He is gonna run further away, and Rod, please tell me you can reach him still, yeah. I don't want to bother fighting a weak little fight like this, so we're just going to do this. And auto-resolve that, please. Let's hope it's not insane in the amount of damage we take. Yeah, our ghouls somehow took massive losses, but, you know, auto-resolve is as it is. Let's return those captives because we barely heal anything at all. And there we go. Now that that guy's done, you... Well, you can stay in March now. Oh. Actually, I just thought of a problem. What if these guys attack Roderick while he's here? That might be problematic. I guess we'll try to bait them by moving Vlad in closer to them. Also, Renki, I think you have to go back into Fort Stroghoff in March stance. Because otherwise these guys will attack it. They may attack it anyway, especially with this guy. And I'd rather not risk that. The March stance is obviously going to be problematic, but you now have a second Blood Knight unit in here, and we could just raise... I don't even remember what we lost here. That's actually a good question. I assume it was just skeletons and stuff, so let's just get a couple more skeletons in here. There you go. Yeah, of course these guys aren't as full HP as I would like, and we can't get another Vargeist unit, can we? Oh well. At the end of the day, I think they should be fine, even if everybody here does attack. The mammoths will be kind of an issue, but I'm once again not entirely sure that the enemy will even try it. Anyway, unfortunately with that, this is probably where we're going to call this episode. And next time we turn to the south for a little while, probably, as we continue trying to destroy Karaz-a-Karak for good. We are unlikely to hold Iron Rock, but Karak should be easy, and Bathilda will march to Berkovar. We're also likely to get the final battle against the vampire coast of Sartosa outside Miragliano next episode, so that should be a fun time, and we won't be seeing these guys again for a while, and will instead be turning towards Skavenblight and all the Skaven territories of Scryer. So that should give us a decent amount of cash. And no, it looks like these guys are still here, so we're fine at the sides here, at least for now. As in our eastern border, we will still need to wall up everything here, but a necro with a pile of zombies should be able to hold off on all of that. Anyway, I believe I've said enough. Stay tuned for more Vlad and Izzy. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.